Good afternoon, all the participants. On behalf of Indian Railway Institute of Financial Management, Secunderabad, I extend warm welcome to each one of you for today's webinar on general and subsidiary books. The sessions are designed not only for those who are appearing for special Appendix 3A examination to be held in March, but also useful for other candidates who are preparing for Appendix 3A and also LDC. I request all of you to please make use of this opportunity. Today's session is general books and subsidiary books. And to take up this session, we have Shri K. Damodar Prasad. He is retired senior AFA South Central Railway. Welcome, sir. And it's over to you to commence the session.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome all the participants, especially those who are preparing for a special examination that is being conducted by Railway Board. And we all knew that any organization should have certain accounting books to record the financial transactions that are taking place. These financial transactions which are recorded in the books, we call them as general books. And supporting details will be there in the subsidiary books. So railways is not an exception. For that matter, any government department is also not an exception, because an organization will always have financial transactions, and those financial transactions have to be entered in the books of accounting. So what are all the types of books of accounting which the railway will be maintaining, and what are the rules? That portion we have to know. And one more important point is that the accounting circle, that means we can say हमारा accounting unit, जो accounting unit है उसके अंदर बहुत सारे offices काम करते हैं. So उन लोगों का all the financial transactions, they will be collected in the accounting unit. So that accounting unit has special responsibility, and that accounting has the responsibility of maintaining these railway accounts. So before going into the general books and subsidiary books, we have to give a small brief or small introduction for to know the responsibilities of an accounting circle, or in charge of an accounting circle as an accounts officer. What is his responsibility? Once we knew, then when the recording of transactions, where to and which type of transaction in which book it will be entered, those details will try to know about them. So once we knew the responsibilities of an accounts officer, then it automatically it will follow what are the registers, what are the heads, what are the other subsidiary books which we have to maintain. It will be known to all of us. So पहले accounts officer का responsibilities, accounting head का responsibilities क्या होते हैं? So let us see that. So ये रेलवे अकाउंट्स कंपाइल करने में अकाउंट्स ऑफिसर का ड्यूटीज क्या होते हैं? नंबर 1, to collect all receipt and payments of the railway division, railway unit or railway office to which he is attached. That is of his accounting circle for bringing them to account. So first of all, as an accounts officer or accounts office, we can say it should know what are all its receipts and what are all its payments. Once we knew, then we have to collect where the receipts are available and where the payments, normally without the knowledge of accounts officer, no payment will go except where pre-check is waived, like impressed amounts, only those payments will go without the knowledge of accounts officer. Otherwise, all the payments will go with the knowledge of accounts officer. But there also some payments on behalf of the accounting circle, some other accounting circle it may do. So in such cases, we need to collect them because it is the responsibility of the accounts officer to collect all receipts and payments. That is the most important. So पहले तो वो collect करना, receipts का details collect करना और payment का details collect करना, ये दोनों pertaining to his accounting circle. जो accounting circle होते, accounting unit होते हैं, वो accounting unit के अंदर जो भी receipts होगा, जो भी payments होगा, वो पूरा collect करना. पहले ये काम करना. So काम करना, ये collect करने के बाद क्या करते हैं हम लोग? So we have to bring them into account. So हमें इतना earn किया, हमें इतना payment किया, वैसा बोले तो वो books of accounts में नहीं जाएगा. So we have to prepare, we have to bring them into account. So वो कैसा करना? That is the compilation of railway accounts. So the first duty of the accounts officer is to collect receipts and payments. That is one important. Next, when we are collecting, similarly, some receipts or some payments which are pertaining to other accounting circle also will be having. So in such case, to transfer to other account circles the items pertaining to them which originated in his circle. So हमारा accounts unit में जो भी receipts का कुछ receipts आया और जो भी payments हमें किया, मगर वो ये receipt और ये payment ये accounting unit का नहीं होता, दूसरे accounting unit का होता. Though in that case we have to transfer those items. So that is also one of the foremost duties of the accounts officer in charge of the accounts. So when it is the duty of accounts officer, हमारा जिम्मेदारी वो होते हैं. So one is to collect and another one is to transfer, which is not pertaining transfer to other accounting circles. Those transactions which are pertaining to other accounting circle are not his own accounting circle. So this is most important. At this stage, we should know about transfers kaisa karte. That is pertaining to the transfer transactions and the remittance transactions. Remittance transactions, it is related to other railways and other government departments, railways and state government departments, railways and banking sector, railways and defense, railways and postal. So like this. So these are remittance transactions that will be taking place. Similarly, transfer transactions. जो भी एक accounting circle के अंदर जो भी transfers होते हैं within the accounting unit, कुछ transfers करना पड़ता है. So that and between the accounting units of the same railway, that is we call them as intra-railway transactions, and between railways, then we call them as transfer transactions intra-railway. So inter-railway from one railway to another railway. So these are the transfers which will be affected. So this it should immediately strike to us when we are writing this. So one is to collect receipts and payments of the accounting circle to which he is attached. Why it is required? To bring them into account. Number two, it is to transfer to other accounting circle, the items which are pertaining to them but originated in his circle. हमारा accounting unit में वो आया, मगर वो हमारा accounting unit का नहीं होता है, तो इसीलिए immediately we have to transfer them. So while transferring, if it is within the railway, within the zonal railway, from your accounting unit to another accounting unit, we will use transfer transactions intra-railway. Suppose the transfer has to be from one zonal railway to another zonal railway, we use the heads of transfer railways to transfer such transactions. Suppose those are pertaining to banking sector, we will use or remittance into bank, or checks and bills, reserve bank suspense, or remittances. With suppose if it is related to states and POs, remittances we use, and if it is related to defense, remittances we use. So this is how those transfer heads will be operating. So this one. Then third point is to adjust in his books the items of expenditure or receipts pertaining to his own circle transferred to him by other accounts officers. So needless to say, that means when from some other accounting of unit or from some other accounting circle, if any transaction comes to his office, think that you don't do anything. It is that means, has it been brought into account? No, we cannot say that it has been brought into account. When we can say that it has been brought into account, when those items are adjusted in his books of accounts. So what is the system which we will follow to adjust in the books of accounts? Normally, you immediately will be getting an idea that the adjusting in the books of accounts, that means we will be dealing with JV, preparation of JV or transfer certificates. Transfer certificates will issue or JVs will prepare. Then only we can say that that the transaction has been adjusted in the books. So that is most important item which we have to keep in our mind. Similarly, suppose it is related to other than railway accounts, say PAO or some other banking sector, central account section, Ragpur. In such case, when we can say that it has been adjusted in his books, only when you send advice of advice memo, clearance of advice, advice of clearance, if you send to RBI, then the other accounts officer, he will get clearance memo and then he will adjust it. Similarly, from other accounting circle, if some amount has to come to us, then advice of clearance they will be sending, and from central account section we will be getting clearance memo, and then JV will be prepared. Then this is how the adjustment will take place. So to adjust in his books of accounts items of expenditure or receipt pertaining to his own circle transferred to him by other accounts officers. So this is one. That is, this is transfer out. And the second point is to transfer in. When transfer has been received, then we have to adjust. So what is the measure? How we will be doing? We'll be preparing a JV. So that's how when JV is prepared, then only we can say that it has been it has come into the books of accounts. Otherwise, it is lying in the system. We are not done anything. So that means no action has been done. So it is not correct. So we have to adjust in the books of accounts, means we have to prepare a JV. Next one is when we do this for receipts and payments which are pertaining to his own accounting circle, we have to bring them into account, or we have to transfer out the items which are not pertaining to the accounting circle. Once we do that, monthly transactions have been completed. So when monthly transactions have been completed, normally what we will be doing, we will be compiling a detailed account of the circle monthly and yearly. So this monthly compilation of receipts and payments normally we say in our code, it is disbursements. We call them as not payments, disbursements. So receipts and disbursements. So both at one place we will be compiling, and then yearly whatever accounts required to be done, we will be doing that. So this is also the responsibility of accounts officer who is in charge of the accounting unit. So when I am telling about the detailed account of the his circle monthly and yearly. So monthly, how we'll be communicating these are our receipts and these are our expenditure. How we'll be compiling, how we'll be communicating. So that is by means of preparing an accounts current. So once we do this account current, then we can say that this account current will show the receipts of the accounting circle, which are collected, which are transferred to other units, and which are adjusted in our books. So only that means the transactions of receipts and receipts and disbursements, both pertain to the accounting circle, will be available, and then they will be they will be entered in a prescribed format. Because railway being a departmental enterprise, the other day we saw that. So departmental enterprise, a departmental enterprise hone ke naate, we have to follow, because when we submit our account current monthly to Government of India, we have to follow that government accounting structure. So what are all the transactions? Some number of transactions will take place, but all those transactions, whatever, n number of transactions they may take up. But those transactions, if we, because nowadays everything is computerized, if you give correct allocation, straight away it will go to the correct measure head, or straight away it will go to the correct sub measure head, straight away it will go to the correct subhead, and straight away it will go to the PU. So what is required from our side in the accounts department is to allocate correctly. Once that allocation, either it is in the form of CO7 or it is in the form of JV, if you give allocation correctly, automatically in the computer era, the compilation of detailed account circle, it will be very easy. So that is one important point. So collecting the receipts and payments, and the receipts and payments which are not pertaining to the accounting circle, transferring to others, and others, whatever receipts and payments transferred to that accounting circle, adjusting. Once we do this, and for the month, we have to compile and tell these are our receipts and these are our expenditure. So one accounting unit will do, and it will be again compiled at a zonal railway level, and at railway board level, railway as a whole, it will be compiled, and that account current receipts and disbursements, for a month, it will be communicated to Ministry of Finance to find out the ways and means position of Government of India. So that is the goal with which we have to work. So that is why we should minimize the accountal mistakes. Then, to prepare relevant financial reports for management information and action. So finally, one is, as a government department, we have to compile the accounts of the circle monthly and yearly, and we have to submit to railway board. That is, from as a government department, which we are supposed to do, we have to do that under the prescribed heads. Whatever it is given, in those heads only, we have to see that these are fit and then sent to railway board. But the accounts office has another important role to play. वो important role क्या होते हैं? To assist the management in decision making. So the managers, whatever information they require from our accounts, compiled from our accounts, anything whatever required, so that we have to part with. Because they're only, say for example, an engineer may lay a track, but how much does it cost? That will be known only from accounts department. So this is the manager information which we have to give. Physical progress, the executive departments, they will be knowing. But financial progress, how much out of sanctioned amount, how much we have spent and how much yet to be spent, or do we need to revise our estimate? So these things will be known only by seeing the accounting records. So therefore, it is very important role of accounts officer that to prepare relevant financial reports for management information and necessary action. So this is in a nutshell. We knew by this time you understood that the in compilation of railway accounts, what are all the activities that are involved. Okay, so now let us go into the process involved in compiling the railway accounts. One is maintenance of books of accounts. So today's topic will be this only, maintenance of books of accounts. What type of books we have to maintain? And what are all the transactions, in which type of book they will be going into which type of book, and what is the purpose. So this is what today's topic. Then affecting the transfer transactions and remittance transactions. So that is second one. And third one is compiling monthly accounts and annual accounts. So these are the processes involved in compiling the railway accounts. Please keep them in mind. Now, let us see. इससे पहले मैंने बात करता था तो अकाउंटिंग ट्रांजैक्शंस के बारे में, फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस के बारे में. तो ये फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस आखिर क्या होते हैं? What can be called as accounting transaction? Let us see. How many types of accounting transactions are also? Let us see. So the accounting transactions, they fall under two distinct headings. This is not only related to railways, but even other commercial departments or a small vendor also. His accounting transactions will be under these two heads only. Number one. And one more point which I want to tell is that majority of the transactions, they fall under, out of the two, and in the first category. So what is the first category? It is cash. Cash receipts and disbursements. This consists of majority of the transactions of any organization. So railways is also not an exception. So in railways also, somewhere I read that around 70% of the financial transactions are related to cash. And the remaining only adjustments. So the second category is adjustments. So these are the only two categories where any of the transactions, either receipts and payments, let there be n number of transactions, they will fall under these two categories only. And in that also, again, cash receipts and cash disbursements, they have large number. They are in large number. So these, why I am stressing this is that in the books which we are going to discuss, these cash receipts and cash disbursements play a vital role. A separate set of books will be maintaining them, for writing down in the books for cash receipts as well as cash disbursements. So that you keep it in mind. And then book adjustments. Anyhow, I will let you know actually what is book adjustment. Now, the book adjustment represents the transactions which are initially accounted by another accounts officer. That means दूसरे accounting circle में ये हुआ था and it has been transferred to us. Then for him it will be cash, and for this accounting circle to which it has been transferred, it will be an adjustment. So this is one book adjustment. Second one, adjustment between one accounting head to another accounting head. This also, it is an adjustment. Please remember these two things very carefully. Book adjustment माने तो एक तो हमेशा हमारा सोच में आता है that it is transfer from one accounting circle to another accounting circle. Yes, that is true. So that initially accounted by one accounting officer, that will be transferred to another accounting officer, that will be an adjustment. Not only that, initially accounted by another accounts officer, or adjustment between one accounting head to another accounting head within the same or different accounting circles. Say, for example, stores department, we will be taking, we will be giving a requisition. वो requisition हमें stores department को बेचते, and from stock we will be taking the material, and from there the value of the stores which the open line has taken, it will be coming through stores monthly summary. So stores monthly summary, it will be supplied to the division or unit, and they will be checking that, and then finally preparing a JV booking to the final heads. So these are all the, again, that booking to final heads, how they will do this adjustment only, because there is no cash involved. So similarly, initially accounted by another accounts officer and transferred, then you have to identify the final head and then prepare the JV. So again, for transfers, how it will be done and what are the heads to be operated, how to watch them, we will see separately when we talk of remittance transactions and transfer transactions. Let us confine only up till this point that we should know what is book adjustment. Book adjustment means initially accounted by another accounts officer but transferred to us, and we have to adjust it. So it is a book adjustment. Another one is adjustment between one accounting head to another accounting head. So from stores to open line. So that heads differ. Not only this, so these two are the book adjustments. They will be representing these transactions. Then what are the initial records? So I said the majority of the transactions in railway, for that matter, in any organization, it will be cash receipt and cash disbursement. So the initial record for cash transaction will be a cash voucher or a bill. So in case of payment, it is a bill, and in case of receipt, some cash voucher will be there. So that record will be the initial record for cash transaction. Say for book adjustments, it is the journal slip or journal voucher. Normally in our railway, what we call it is a journal voucher, JV. So journal voucher, there no cash will be involved, because the cash has already been paid by another accounting circle. So only thing is you are adjusting it. Similarly, suppose our executive has taken some material assistance. He has taken. So he will send the AM. So that AM, based on the AM, we will prepare a JV. So such transactions, it is only the cash was paid by whom? Cash was paid by the other accounting circle where from the executive got the material. For that, payment was made already. Only thing is what happened from that accounting, from that office, executive office, to this executive office, the material has been transferred. When material has been transferred, financial transaction also should take place. So that financial transaction will take place only by means of AM, and the JV will be prepared. So on the strength of the AM, the JV will be prepared. So this is the JV is meant for such book adjustments. This is not out of place, but I want to tell you that a journal voucher or JV, we also prepare for rectification of mistakes from one head to another head. Suppose गलती से एक सब मेजर हेड को जाना था, दूसरा सब मेजर हेड को एलोकेशन दिया, तो कैसा आप रेक्टिफाई करते? अगेन CO 7 पास करते क्या? नहीं. So we will be doing the rectification also, because already done. Payments are already over, or receipt already over, but only thing is allocation mistake was there. So that allocation mistake, how to rectify? That also we will be preparing the journal slip and journal voucher. That is one more function of the journal slip or journal voucher. So then, now where these are recorded? Because we should be clear what is the cash transaction and what is JV transactions. Suppose एक चिट्ठी एक लिस्ट पे पूरा कैश और जनरल पूरा आ गए तो आपको कैसा लगता है? तो it will not be correct to write all the transactions in daily cash JVs, so many other things. So we cannot write like that. Even a trader also, he will not write. So what is the convenient form? So which are all the transactions which are more in number? So normally cash is more in number. So separately we will be maintaining cash book. So the cash transactions are recorded in the cash book. So that in one go, if you look at the cash, we will be knowing that how much is the total receipts and how much is the total disbursement on a particular day. So with that, there is no matter, isn't it? So that is how all the cash transactions will be coming recorded under cash book. That means in cash book, almost your 70%, suppose 1 lakh transactions for it, 70,000 transactions, they will be available in the cash book itself. Similarly, अगर JVs prepare किया, book adjustments किया, so JVs prepare करे तो that JV will be reflected in a separate book which we call them as journal. Journal माने तो normally it is a list. Journal माने तो list in an orderly fashion. If you write anything, we call it as a list or journal. That's all. But this journal, it contains only the list of JVs which we have prepared. And cash book will contain only cash which is received and which is paid. So debit and credit. Only this will be recorded in the cash book. So cash book and journal, these two are very, very important books which are maintained in any commercial organization. So railways also should maintain such transaction to record such transaction, because we will be having cash receipts and disbursements, and we will also have book adjustments. So for book adjustments, we will be through JV, whatever it comes, it will be entered in a separate book, separate list, which we call as journal. Suppose पूरे cash receipts or cash disbursements है, separate cash book will be maintained. So in the cash book, 70% of the transactions, they will be available, and in the journal, the remaining it will be available. That means when anything coming into cash book and journal, that means it has come into the books of railway. It has been accounted. The accounting transaction has been adjusted. Transaction has been done. This is the understanding which we should have about accounting transactions. Now let us see the terms of general books and subsidiary books. These are the terms that is our today's topic, is general books and subsidiary books. Now what are our general books? What are general books? General books are also books of accounting only. And what are the subsidiary books which are maintained? And what is the purpose of subsidiary books? And what is the purpose of general books? So this is the main topic which we will be dealing today. So now let us see what are general books. For collecting and bringing to account, again please remember that collecting and bringing to account, that is the first responsibility of accounts officer of accounting circle. We already read, so we are repeating that. So for collecting and bringing, because already it is a function of accounts officer. So where he will, how he will collect and where he will bring into account, that transaction of the accounting circle, and for compiling monthly and annual accounts, the accounts officer maintains essential records. These records are called general books. So please remember that collecting the receipts and payments, transferring to other accounting circles, adjusting the receipts and payments transactions which have been received in the accounting circle, and then compiling monthly and annual accounts for that, because that is his duty. So to discharge the duty, he will be maintaining certain essential important records. So those important records, we call them as general books. So what is meant by general books? General books means for collecting and bringing to account all the transactions of the accounting circle. When I say transactions, receipts and payments, and for compiling monthly and annual accounts, the accounts officer has to maintain certain essential records, and those essential records are called general books. And for managerial information, for supporting, because in the end, I said that he has to compile the reports for managerial information. For that purpose, and for suiting to the commercial requirements, commercial organization requirements, will be maintaining subsidiary books. So in a nutshell, we can say the accounts officer maintains certain essential records of bookkeeping, and those accounts of books which are maintained by accounts officer, we call them as general books and subsidiary books. Okay, general books. Now let us we now confine with general books. Now general books, what are the general books which we maintain, especially railways, they maintain. For that matter, you take any organization, they maintain these books only. Names may differ, but the transactions which are recorded, they remain the same. We designed for our convenience. So let us see what are the general books which are maintained by our accounting circle. Number one, daily abstract of cash transactions, or the general cash book. What we call it as general cash book. So general cash book, आपने सुना होगा कि at the end of the month, अरे cash book हो गया क्या? That's what normally in our accounting circles normally we call them. So cash transaction, because we knew that cash transactions, whatever they are happening in an accounting circle, they will be completed by end of the month. By end of the month, all the cash transactions will come to standstill. So therefore, then our IT center, they will run the cash listing, and then cash listing will come. So this cash listing, that will be daily, what are all the transactions that took place? What are the cash receipts? And what are the cash disbursements that took place on a particular day? And then second day, then third day, then fourth day, like that. Daily it will come the cash abstract of cash transactions or the general cash book. That is, this is maintained in which form? It is A304. A means Accounts Office Code, Volume 1, and 304. 3 is Chapter 3rd, and 4 is para. In that para, it was clearly described how to maintain a general cash book. So normally, you may have seen in our book section also, a general cash book में क्या होता है? Actually, हमारा daily whatever receipts which we are getting, and whatever payments through CO7s, whatever payments we arrange through CO7, all those day-wise, what number of CO7s listing will be there, and what is the total debit and what is the total credit. So this daily abstract will be there in the general cash book, that we call them as general cash book. Then another general book which we will be maintaining is monthly classified abstract of cash transactions. Monthly classified abstract of cash transactions. This we will be calling it as the general cash abstract book. General cash abstract book. This is A306. This is maintained in form A306. So what is the difference Here it is daily. Daily abstract will be there. Daily CO7s or check sheets, whatever amount we have received or MCR. So whatever amount is there in the form of cash, that will be day wise. Say we can say day book. So day wise, first, second, third, fourth, all the receipts and disbursements, they will be entered in the general cash book. But here it is a classified. In the month when it comes, it will be classified abstract of cash transactions. That means here the daily abstract will not be coming into that picture. Now here the abstract of cash transactions, that means under proper heads, what are all the cash disbursements and cash payment receipts under appropriate heads, under X, Y, or Z, or under abstract A, abstract B, abstract C, abstract D. So what are the spendings and what are the receipts? So these are all the things which are listed, classified. That is why here the word classified. So this classified abstract means in the proper appropriate abstracts, it will be bifurcated, and then a book monthly total receipts and total payments will be recorded in the monthly classified abstract of cash transactions or the general cash abstract book. So with this, what we are having, daily transactions are recorded, chronological way they are recorded, and then abstract, classified abstract is there. That means as per accounting, government accounting transactions, how it should be done, that has also been recorded. That is summarized in the form of monthly classified abstract of cash transactions. So with this, 70% of our transactions are recorded in the daily abstract of cash transactions or monthly general cash abstract book. So this is cash book. Now another one is what is the rest remaining? Only two types of transactions. One is cash and another one is adjustments. So adjustments in which book? Already I told that it will be in journal. So the third book which we maintain is journal. This will be maintained in form A307. So the journal are posted through which document? JV, journal voucher. That journal voucher will be A308 in that form. Mostly you may have seen in the computer that it will be debit and it will be credit will be there. And whenever you are preparing JV, either debit and credit both should tally. Or if you are operating only on debit side, so debit minus debit will be there, so rectification. Or credit side only you are operating, credit and minus credit will be there. So that is how, that is zero will be there, or both will be balanced. So this is how you have to prepare the JV. So the JVs which you have prepared, that will be sent to book section. Book section will give separate serial number, and then that will be recorded in the listing document called journal. So the journal consists of what? The journal consists of all the JVs in a chronological way. Head of account also, debit and credit also will be there. Debit, credit, and the JV number will be there. So this is how the journal transactions, debit and credit totals will be there. Not this is journal. So then but journal, a few more details are there that we'll know in the subsequent slides. Then, so now what happened? You have completed cash transactions in two books. That is one daily abstract of cash transactions. Second one is monthly classified abstract of cash transactions in the cash transactions, that is completed. And journal has been prepared, listing out all the JVs that were prepared by different sections. In the book section, it will be compiled. Okay, so this is journal has been written. So once the accounting transactions of cash and adjustments have been booked, brought into the books of accounts. Now you can say a transaction, if it is appearing in the daily abstract of cash transactions, or appearing in the monthly classified abstract of cash transactions, or in the JV, then we can say those transactions have been brought into books. Books mein aa gaya. It has been adjusted. Then only we can say. That means there will be recorded data will be there that so much amount has been paid to so and so. So much amount has been received. So much amount has been adjusted. So this is in black and white. You can see the transaction that has been booked into, it has been brought into books of railways. So these are called general books. So now you will be surprised, there is one more book. साहब आपने बोले cash और adjustments only. So cash has come in the daily abstract and monthly classified abstract. और adjustments journal में आ गया. और क्या है? Yes, we have to now show that the balances that are available under the prescribed heads. Under the prescribed heads, those have to be written cumulative for the month and cumulative for the month and balances for the month and to end of the balance, to end of the month balances we have to write. So those transactions will be written for the purpose of compiling. There is one more point now, compiling monthly and annual accounts. So that compiling monthly and अभी तक क्या हुआ? खाली रिकॉर्डिंग हो रहा है, bring for collecting and bringing to account. ये इतना हो गया डेली कैश बुक और मंथली क्लासिफाइड एब्स्ट्रैक्ट बुक में हो गया और जर्नल में भी हो गया. अभी क्या करना है? टू कंपाइलिंग द मंथली एंड एनुअल अकाउंट्स. सो वो कंपाइल करने के वास्ते पहले ये लेजर लिखना है. ये लेजर लिखना है. ये लेजर लिखने के बाद from that we can copy and we can say that it is the account current. So that portion we'll see later, but the ledger will be maintaining in the form of prescribed heads, and then under government accounting जितने भी पार्ट है उतना ही पार्ट्स में ये पूरे के पूरा ट्रांसैक्शंस डेली एब्स्ट्रैक्ट का मंथली में आ जाता है और मंथली का जर्नल में आ जाता है. जर्नल में कैश और जर्नल का पूरा ट्रांसैक्शंस होते हैं. ये पूरे हमें लेजर में ले जाते हैं. मगर लेजर में ले जाने में उसमें पार्ट 1, पार्ट 2 एंड पार्ट 3 ये गवर्नमेंट अकाउंट्स जिस पार्ट्स में रहता है उसी पार्ट्स में हमारा लेजर भी मेंटेन करते हैं. दैट मीन्स द लेजर विल बी रिटन एज पर द गवर्नमेंट प्रिंसिपल्स. हमारा गवर्नमेंट का अकाउंटिंग का पार्ट्स जितने पार्ट्स होते हैं वैसे ही ये लेजर लिखते हैं. पार्ट 1 कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया, जो भी कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया में आते हैं वो रिकॉर्ड्स रिसीट्स रहता है और डिस्बर्समेंट भी रहते हैं. ये कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया में क्या क्या रिसीट्स आते हैं, क्या एक्सपेंडिचर आते हैं, मैंने बता दी. हमारा स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ रेलवे अकाउंट्स में बता दी. और पार्ट 2 I said normally we will not be having operating that, so no transaction will be there. Again part 3 में क्या क्या आते हैं? पूरे के पूरे अपना सस्पेंस हेड्स का जो भी हेड्स ऑपरेट करते हैं वो पूरे थर्ड पार्टी ट्रांसैक्शंस है. वो थर्ड पार्ट में आता है, पार्ट 3 में आता है. कौन सा है वो पार्ट 3? पब्लिक अकाउंट. सो इससे पहले जो कैश बुक में था और जनरल में था वो क्लासिफाइड पे है, मगर वो पार्ट 1, पार्ट 2, पार्ट 3 वैसा नहीं है. सो नाउ इन द लेजर विल बी ब्रिंगिंग देम इनटू फॉर द मंथ एंड टू एंड ऑफ द मंथ. क्यूमुलेटिव टोटल भी रहते हैं इसमें. सो दैट लेजर विल बी रिटन. सो वंस इट इज देयर, then we can say that the ledger, after completing the ledger, then we will be going for account current, compiling the monthly and annual accounts. Annual accounts वो भी बाद में देखेंगे. So that for that purpose these general books are written. So the general books are 4 types. One is daily abstract of cash transaction, दूसरा है monthly abstract of cash transaction, तीसरा है journal, and ये गवर्नमेंट अकाउंटिंग का जो पार्ट्स है वो पार्ट्स में ये पूरे ट्रांसैक्शंस प्रिस्क्राइब्ड हेड्स में लाके रखना है फॉर द मंथ एंड टू एंड ऑफ द मंथ, वो है लेजर. ये होने के बाद few more important points which we have to write in the examination is that only one cash book is maintained in the accounting circle. आपका अकाउंटिंग सर्कल में जो भी रेवेन्यू ट्रांसैक्शन हो और कैपिटल ट्रांसैक्शन हो, कैश इज कैश ओनली, सो ओनली वन कैश बुक इज मेंटेन. आपको शक होता है कि सर अगर कैपिटल ट्रांसैक्शन का कैश इसमें आ गए तो रेवेन्यू में आ गए तो क्या करना है, तो दैट विल बी सब्सिक्वेंटली ट्रांसफर्ड टू कैपिटल अकाउंटिंग सर्किल थ्रू ए जर्नल स्लिप. सो जेवी हम बेचते हैं, so that it will be transferred, but you have to remember that only one cash book is maintained for the accounting circle. Next, दूसरा, the journal and ledger are maintained separately for capital and revenue transactions. So that means दो sets हमें use करते हैं. So that is one which we have to write. So with this, the general books portion, it is over. Now let us see further details if any are there. So daily abstract. So all cash transactions involving actual receipt and payment are recorded daily. Every entry is posted in the register, is supported by a voucher signed by the accounts officer. So अगर payment है, accounts officer sign करना है, और traffic check sheet से कुछ amount आता है, receipts आता है, receipts भी sign करके आता है. So this is what it will be done, and both पूरा receipts and expenditure disbursements ये listing करने के बाद total and balance daily and reconciled with that in the cashier's cash book. So cashier cash book में ये कहाँ पर रहते हैं, ये accounts office ये 19 chapter और 17th para में ये cashier cash book में रहते हैं. So because it is cash transactions, so all cash transactions from stations or otherwise also received, and whatever disbursements we made, 307s also we will be sending to cash office. So there you will be having the both receipts and disbursements will be there, and it will be reconciled with the cashier cash book. हमारा general cash book A304, it will be reconciled with the cashier's cash book daily. Then general cash book has 2 sides, that is the debit side and credit side, and all cash receipts are posted on the debit side because cash is received, so debit, and payments, cash is going out, at credit side you have to post it. So this is how the daily abstract of cash transactions will be done. So debit side, all receipts, cash receipts, and credit side, all cash payments. That means by this time you will understand that all CO7s, whatever we make payments, so in that payment part, it will go to credit side. Suppose in the CO7 some recovery is there, it will go to debit side, that is receipt part. Similarly, cash receipts either received in the cash office or in the station that is through station cash office, whatever we receive, then suppose traffic check sheet is there. So that traffic check sheet figures you will be entering on the debit side of the cash. So this you please understand that. So this is done. Then daily abstract of cash book और transaction में debit side में क्या क्या होते हैं. So traffic check sheet, this sometimes you have to remember them. मैंने बोल दिया मगर remember करके आप लिखना है examination में. So debit side क्या होते हैं, receipts, cash receipts. Cash receipts कहाँ से आता है वो ख्याल रखिए. Traffic cash check sheet, ये तो traffic cash. Recovery is affected in the CO7 credit heads, that already I told. And list of unpaid wages, जो भी पे किया मगर unpay हो चुके हैं, then that will be remitted by cashier. It is that amount also it will be receipt. Then counterfiles of the cash receipts given by cash office. और एक तरीका कैश हमारा कैश रिसीट हमारा रेलवेज को आता है, तो any party if they are willing to pay the amount, they can pay the amount in our pay office. So whenever they pay the amount to the pay office, they will give a miscellaneous cash receipt. Normally we call them as MCR. So a MCR देने के बाद, so that also will be a receipt. It will be posted on the debit side. Similarly, now come to the credit side. Credit side हमें बोल दिया है कि credit is payment. So payment side. So by this time you understood that the payment will be posted from the summary of the debits shown in the CO7. Then our payment क्या होता है? Treasury remittance note receipts given by banks for the amounts remitted. So जो भी बाकी का amount कैशियर के पास रहता है, he will be remitting that money to the bank. So that also it will be a cash payment. So this is how treasury receipts given by the banks for the amounts remitted by the cashiers, that will be the payment side. So this is how the debits and credits are posted. Daily abstract. Now a daily abstract होने के बाद monthly abstract, classified abstract, ये कैसा बनाते हैं? This is also related to cash transactions only. This is kept in two parts. Yes, one is for receipts and another one is for disbursements. They are posted from the summary of receipts and payments appearing in the daily abstract cash transactions. So daily cash transactions में daily one first date, second date, third date till month end. So date wise it will be. Now here only the totals only will be taken in the abstract. Only totals of the summary, day wise summary totals only will be taken, and all 30 days totaled up, and then total receipt and total payment for the accounting cycle will be available in the monthly classified abstract. So having done this, I want to tell you about this cash transactions. Cash normally it is there will be a major head in the public account. In the public account part, that is part 3 में एक major head है, that is 8671. So ये major head है, L suspense and miscellaneous, C other accounts. ये caption के अंदर एक cash का एक major head है, that is 8671. This will be debited. That debited माने तो whenever cash is received, and credited whenever cash is payment is made, with all cash transactions recorded in the general cash book. A general cash book में, that means daily abstract में whatever amounts are received and whatever payments are made, they will be debited and credited under major head 8671. That means ये general cash book में जो भी receipt है वो 8671 में डेबिट. ये जनरल कैश बुक में जो भी डिस्बर्समेंट है that will be 8671 में क्रेडिटेड. सो डेबिट एंड क्रेडिट. सो ये कैश हेड 8671 में जो भी डेबिट आपको दिखाना है that will be the total receipts, and whatever credit is there under that particular head under part 3 L suspense and miscellaneous, C other accounts, उसमें जो भी cash credit है that is payments of railways and receipts of railways. Cash, I can say cash receipts and cash payments. Okay, now there is one more major head is there. Acha, okay, here so debit and credit under 8671 when after posting, if normally there should not be any balance, and if any balance is there, that balance indicates the amount held by the cashier for making payment into the bank. So उसने withheld करके आपके उनके पास रखा है, कितना अमाउंट कैशियर के पास है वो जानने के वास्ते आप खाली ये मेजर हेड 8671 देखे तो जितना अमाउंट कैशियर के पास है to be remitted to bank, that will be available. Please remember these things. These are additional information which if you know this, then you will be getting good marks. Okay, so this is 8671. There is one more suspense head is there. Sorry, one more cash बैलेंस अकाउंट करने का हेड होता है, so that is balance under major head 8672. This is 8671. 8671 is railway receipts and railway disbursements, and balance, if any, is there. That means the amount is with the cashier and that has to be remitted to bank. That's all. Now there is one more head, 8672. All of you aware that the cash will not only be with the cashier but also with the departmental officers. So you may be getting doubts, sir, how is that cash will be available? Yes, we are giving the impressed cash cards we have given. So impressed cash, to that extent it should be available with the departmental officer. So suppose if you want to know how much is the total cash transaction, how much is the cash available, then you should add that cash also, which is available with all the departmental officers. So where it will be available? It will be available under 8672, major head 8672, permanent cash impress. This will represent the amounts held by the railway officers. That is why, if you remember correctly, you can add a point if you have idea and strike your mind, then you can write in the examination also, on 31st March, we will be certifying that this is the cash balance that is available with the cashier. That should tally with under 8671 how much balance is available. Debit minus credit. That is one. Not only that, we will be writing a letter to all the impressed holders to certify the balances as on 31st March. That sum total of the impressed holders' cash balance will be depicted under major head 8672. So this is all about cash transactions. Books of accounts maintained for cash. So what are they? Daily, that is general cash book. Second one is monthly, it is nothing but summary only, general cash abstract book. So this is all about cash, to record the cash transactions, to book the cash transactions into the accounts. Now let us come to journal. Journal, it is maintained in A307. All transactions which do not involve actual receipt and disbursement of cash are recorded in the journal under different heads of accounts, whatever based on the transaction, to which head it should go, it will be debited or credited. So each entry in the journal, already I told that it should be supported by a JV and which will be supported by accounts officer, or some section officer also will be authorized, because there will be authorization will be there, the limits up to which a person can sign. Suppose if it is the clearance from suspense, lesser powers will be there. It is from normal adjustments, more powers will be given to the section officer. So depending upon that, they have to do, and it should be sent to books, submitted to books, and once you confirm, then book section will create the record, and then book serial number will be given. So that is how that means the JV which you have prepared, finally it has come into books. When it will come into books? Only when book section confirms it. So when they do that, then automatically it will be available, and that will be all the totals, all the JVs, irrespective of the sections, all the JVs will be listed in the journal. Okay, so this journal will consist of heads of accounts to be debited and credited, with a brief narration as to why the JV is prepared. Then later on, what will happen is at the end of the month, because some time limit will be given in the IRIFM for preparing the JVs, and after completion, then by that time your cash book will be already over. So the cash transactions are added up to the totals of the journal. So journal may suppose 100 rupees are there, cash transaction may 1000 rupees are there, and 1100. So that is the total total receipts of the cash and journal. That is, all the transactions of the accounting circle will be available. Then a trial balance will be done. That means debit and credit, whether they are tallying or not, that will be done. The totals of the debit and credit should tally, and if any difference exists, the same should be located in separate. इतना आप journal के बारे में लिखना है. So the journal will indicate not only JVs. At the end, it will also indicate the debits and credits of cash transactions. When I say cash transactions, not only cash transactions and cash transactions of the MCRs also. MCR, whatever receipts we have got, MCR receipted amounts are there. So all that, it will be there under the cash transactions. So cash transactions, I mean the cash plus MCR, cash received in the check sheets or in the form of recoveries through CO7s, and payments through CO7s and MCRs. Then that cash will be added up to the journal, monthly journal, whatever they prepare. First listing will come, and then later on, when finally it is adjusted, then cash also it will be added, and that from that a trial balance will be drawn. A trial balance will indicate that if both debit and credit should tallying for a accounting circle, that means your postings are correct. If not, then you have to locate and separate it, because with the difference you cannot go further, and your computer also will not allow you to go further, because you have to compile after journal. What is that? Ledger. So it will not allow you. So that you have to be careful. Now, what is the ledger? Ledger, I said, it is the closing totals of the journal. So when I say journal, don't get confused. Here, journal means it is not only adjustments. Their cash is also added up in the end. So cash and journal, it is posted in the ledger under various heads of government. And when I say various heads of government, means major heads. Major head wise it will be posted, and then part wise also. Okay. The ledger is maintained in 3 parts of the government accounting, records all receipts and expenditure of the accounting circle for the month and the progressive balance. I said for the month and to end of the month. This will be available. So this is ledger. So ledger होने के बाद अब क्या करता है? Closing. So journal books you have to close. This is also one important topic. आपने थोड़ा I don't know how you remember, but you please remember how closing of the general books takes place. ये होने के बाद अब क्या करना है? ये देखिए, general books of the railway should be closed every month for compilation of the monthly and annual accounts. That means आपका account current करने का पहले आप एक close करना है general books, so that further transaction will not take place. वो कैसा close करना है ये देखिएगा. All revenue transactions, ये थोड़ा ध्यान से सुने तो आप आपका मन में वो it will be fitted into your mind. So all revenue transactions on account of the receipts and expenditure under the final heads will be closer to net revenue. So for that accounting circle, what is the net revenue? How do you know? You will be knowing only when all the revenue transaction receipts and expenditure, that is payment under final heads, are summarized. Then they will be the net amount, whatever it is there, will be showing it as a net revenue. This is closing of general book. Dusra, how the revenue transactions are closed. Similarly, you have to close the capital transactions also. What are all the capital? Normally, capital receipts will not be there. And what are all the final heads, expenditure? If anything is there, that will be closer to capital outlay. Capital outlay, when I say capital outlay, that means when I close my capital books to capital outlay, that means that is the amount which I have spent during the month. Capital outlay means it is the amount that was spent. Unprescribed heads will be there. So whatever plan heads, sources, everything, it will be there. So that will be capital outlay. And suppose under revenue transactions, what are all the receipts and payments? So receipts, here receipts and payments. So payments minus total. So therefore, that will be closer to net revenue. Total receipts minus payments, that will be net revenue. So if you can remember this very well if you go to the glossary of terms in the budget, what they use, there also you will be finding the net revenue. What is this net revenue? Earnings minus expenditure, isn't it? That is the net revenue. Closure of books means, general books means it is net revenue, revenue books. And capital transactions, what is the total capital outlay? That means total expenditure. Okay. But here you can see either in as far as the expenditure is concerned, I said except suspense accounts, except suspense, capital suspense accounts. These suspense accounts always, as you know, the name itself is a suspense. That means suspense, it will not end. It will not end in a one particular year. It will carry forward. So when you carry forward, normally you will balance them. You will be closing to balance. Balance carry forward. Then next year, balance carried brought down. This is how you will be recording. So similarly, therefore, why you have to close to net revenue and capital outlay? Because our railway earnings, if for a month or for a year, it will end there only. They will not be carried forward. So it is net revenue will close. That means to Government of India, in a particular month from railways, how much net revenue it has earned, how much capital outlay it has spent. It will be available in the ways and means position. So this is how the closure of general books is most important. Okay, now all debt and remittance transactions, this also easy to remember, please remember them. All debt and remittance suspense heads except transfer railway will be closer to balance. So already I told you all debt and remittance transactions, they will be closer to balance. But in that also there is one exception. What is that exception? Transfer railways. So transfer railway के बारे में हमें क्या exception है वो देखिएगा. हमारा इंडिविजुअल रेलवेज में, जोनल रेलवे में क्या ट्रांसफर रेलवे हेडक्वार्टर्स में जो ट्रांसफर रेलवेज होते हैं, दैट विल बी क्लोजर टू मिसलेनियस गवर्नमेंट. ये मिसलेनियस गवर्नमेंट अकाउंट को क्लोज करते हैं. ये जेवी ट्रांसैक्शन वॉट एवर अंडर ट्रांसफर रेलवेज में अगर बैलेंस है, नॉर्मली शुड नॉट, बट अगर है देन इट विल बी क्लोजर टू मिसलेनियस गवर्नमेंट, ट्रांसफर टू मिसलेनियस गवर्नमेंट. एंड in the railway board books, अगर ट्रांसफर रेलवे में कहीं भी अगर all railways they adjust everything, they should be debit and credit should tally. अगर कुछ balance है, then it will be closer to balance because that we have to check next year. Please listen again carefully. All debt and remittance transactions are closer to balance. उसमें exception क्या है? ट्रांसफर रेलवे. ट्रांसफर रेलवेज जोनल रेलवे में मिसलेनियस गवर्नमेंट अकाउंट को क्लोज करते हैं और बैलेंस को क्लोज करते हैं रेलवे बोर्ड में. दिस इज ऑल बिफोर गोइंग कंपाइलिंग द अकाउंट करेक्ट. बिफोर डूइंग दैट वी हैव टू क्लोज द जनरल बुक्स फर्स्ट. रिमेंबर दैट. देन all heads of accounts which will not record railway revenue or railway expenditure will be closer to miscellaneous government account. So जो रेलवे का आमदनी नहीं है, वो जो रेलवे का एक्सपेंडिचर नहीं है, all those accounts, heads of accounts अगर है, not suspense balances, others, if any are there, they will be closer to miscellaneous government. So this also you keep it. And one more important, last one, the balance under the head deposit with reserve bank. ये deposit with reserve bank वो क्या होते हैं? हमारा रेलवे का कैश बुक होते हैं. तो उसमें जो भी बैलेंस है that will be closer to miscellaneous government. Why miscellaneous government? Because That money belongs to government. It should go to government. So it will be closer to government. So there ends the matter. Because as far as the railway receipts and expenditure, they will not be carried forward. They will be only for one month or 1 year. They will not be carried forward. So therefore, they will be closer to miscellaneous government. ठीक है, ये होने के बाद next, बाद में, as I said, we have to prepare the account current. ये account current करने के time पे subsidiary registers also should be total. We'll come to know about the subsidiary register. That also total and reconciled with general books. जो head में, जो head suspense register का जो head है, वो head में कितना amount है, वो जितना amount general books में भी रहना चाहिए. So that reconciliation we will take, and if any difference is there, we will locate it, and then within a week's time of submission of accounts, we have to prepare the account current. Then the general books are closed, ledger is written up, monthly account current of the account circle, that is accounts current, is prepared in the prescribed format from the ledger and submitted to railway board by 8th of the following month. Only now single account current we are sending, so it will go along with the supporting schedules. ये schedules मैंने बोला कि account current ये general books के साथ वो होते हैं, और schedule के बारे में क्या होते हैं, schedules कहाँ से prepare करते हैं. Account current prepare करते हैं general books ledger से, so supporting schedules will be preparing from subsidiary books. So let us see what is meant by subsidiary books. So the subsidiary books are designed to exhibit the details of the transactions under revenue, capital, depreciation reserve fund, development fund, and suspense heads duly summarized under the prescribed heads of detailed classification. आपको by this time you should get a doubt. Sir, when general books are there, why subsidiary books are required? Say for example, I want to know how much is the total, how much is the total under checks and bills for a month. Will you be in a position to give me checks and bills position by locating at cash book? Highly impossible, because day in day out we will be doing the checks and bills or remittance into bank. So, or you take one more example. I want to know how much is the total amount which was which was paid to our employees for HBA, and how much is the balance outstanding under HBA. Will you be in a position to tell by looking at the general books? Definitely not. You cannot, because they are headwise we have given there, but I want to know under particular head, particular type of transaction, I want to know what is the HBA balance. Then I require the help of subsidiary books. So subsidiary books are the books which are maintained for a specific purpose, for review and further action to be taken. Purchases, subsidiary register. Stores, sales, so many suspense registers, deposit miscellaneous, works, deposit works, deposit PF, deposit DCRG, deposit security, deposits EMD, miscellaneous advance revenue, miscellaneous advance capital. All these are the subsidiary registers. That means suspense registers also are subsidiary books. So subsidiary books advantage is that we can review one particular type of transactions. In the general books, it is not so. All transactions, they will be day-wise or class wise, every day it will be added up. But here, for the particular allocation, for the particular type of nature of work, nature of transactions, all the transactions in a month will be available. So I can review easily. That is the purpose. That is the purpose of maintaining the suspense heads also. Because suspense heads also subsidiary book only. And again, the suspense heads balances also reconciled with general books. Next, these books are posted directly from the vouchers and allocated abstract summary immediately after they have been passed in the accounts. So directly when your CO7 or traffic check sheet, whatever you have written, then automatically from that the subsidiary books which are designed as per our accounts code, which are the subsidiary books which we have to maintain, straight away it will go and fit into that. And at the end of the month, you can take out the list and then post in the subsidiary registers. Now, what are they? Now, what are the subsidiary books? Number one, revenue allocation register. Revenue allocation register, it is meant for revenue transactions. You can say that CO7 wise it is there, cash is there, adjustments is there, journals are there, but there in the general books they are available. But I want to know under abstract 03, what is the budget and what is the amount which I have spent up to December, and what is the balance available? Will it be available in the general books? No. General books, one portion only will be available. Under each abstract, that also abstract wise it will not be available. So here, under revenue allocation register, you will be having those details also. So these books will help you for managerial information. Register of earnings, पूरा हमारा earnings एक register चिट्ठी पे लिखते हैं, और suspense registers जो भी मैंने बताया वो पूरा suspense registers में लिखते हैं. और register of works, हमारा works register है ना, so works register वो कैसा, all these are revenue allocation register. What purpose does it serve in revenue side? The same purpose will be served by works register on works side. हर एक वर्क को हमें एक फोलियो देते हैं, उसमें टॉप में हमारा एस्टिमेट का अमाउंट कितना है और ये साल का एस्टिमेट आउटले कितना है, हमें कितना ये साल में स्पेंड किया अगेंस्ट outlay we can see, and right from the beginning of the work till now how much we have spent. This can be verified with reference to the estimate amount, whether the estimate amount is nearing, whether that estimate is to be revised. All those things it can be seen by works register. So that is the importance of what subsidiary register. This facility will not be available in the general books. General books, yes, the recording will be there, but it will not be so concise and objective oriented books or subsidiary books. Then a register of works expenditure classified into source wise. हमें works register में post किया, मगर ये classified sources है ना, capital fund, DF, SF वैसा है, तो वो classify ये पूरे वर्क सिस्टम में जो भी पोस्ट किया है ये क्लासिफाइड सोर्स में रहे, तो हमारा जनरल बुक्स जनरल बुक्स में प्लान हेड वाइज सोर्स वाइज रहते हैं एक्सपेंडिचर. सो दिस कैन बी टैलीड विद दैट, सो वी कैन प्रूव दैट वर्क्स रजिस्टर इज करेक्ट. सो फॉर दैट पर्पस subsidiary register of works expenditure classified source wise it is maintained. So these are all the subsidiary books which are maintained for the railway to prepare. This will be helpful for preparing the schedules and suiting to the commercial requirements. For government requirements, general books are there. For commercial requirements, we will be maintaining these subsidiary books. And apart from that, you will be having these commercial accounting principles in the subsidiary books. Because in the schedules, you will be showing the gross, credit, net. But in the account current, you will be showing only net. So that will be available in the general books. But gross, credit, net, you'll be finding here. All suspense accounts you'll be finding here in the suspense registers. So this is all about subsidiary books. Then I will not go into the revenue allocation register because already I have mentioned the purpose of the revenue allocation register. It is to give the information to the managers, that is PHODs and branch officers, that under each abstract, how much is the money funds are available and how much is the expenditure and what is the balance available. And they can take the action where no expenditure is there. They can take action to surrender the funds, or they can book the expenditure also. If expenditure is to the brim, they can ask more funds under the subsequent reviews. This is all about revenue allocation register. Then register of earnings, already I told, and suspense registers, umpteen number of suspense registers are there. Stores inventory side and hamara revenue side, demands payable, so many plethora of suspense registers are there, and all those transactions we have to maintain in under suspense registers, subsidiary book as a subsidiary book as per A320. So, and this clearance of suspense head is watched through maintenance of various suspense registers. अगर ये नहीं है तो बहुत मुश्किल होगा. So this is how one is demands payable, then deposit unpaid wages, then miscellaneous advance revenue and miscellaneous advance capital, deposit miscellaneous. ये तो जो भी पैसा आता है डिपॉजिट वर्क्स का अमाउंट आता है, सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट आता है, EMD आता है, वैसा अमाउंट्स डिपॉजिट मिसलेनियस में रहता है. डिपॉजिट PF, डिपॉजिट DCRG, डिपॉजिट एस्टैब्लिशमेंट, ये पूरा इसमें रहता है. Then works register already I told, against the estimate, against the allotment. This will review will be doing that, and to know how many works have been completed, for which completion report has to be drawn, that also it will be available. Then this is for reconciliation purpose. This register of works expenditure classified under various sources of funds, this will be maintained. So with this, now let us see the summarized form of, suppose in the examination they may give general books and subsidiary books, distinguish between. So this is how helps to compile the receipts and outgoings of the accounting circle, helps to review individual items. Only one voucher number, allocation and amount is posted, exhibits the details of the transaction. Transactions are recorded under prescribed accounting heads. Similar nature of items are recorded at one place in a chronological order. Remember suspense. HBA suspense में HBA आता है, दूसरा नहीं आता है. Correctness of the accounting is proved through trial balance. Review of the transactions will be convenient. Bring to account all transactions of the accounting circle. Maintained to exercise control over expenditure vis-a-vis grant. So this lesson you can apply in the budget, where budgetary control. What are the tools that are available? RAR, works register. These are the main tools of the control over expenditure. Okay. Monthly accounts are prepared based on the postings in the books. Details of the earnings and expenditure is taken from these books and prepare schedules to the account current. This is for account current, general books, and this is for schedules. Then suited to the government accounting structure, general books. And purpose of commercial accounting principles are met by maintaining subsidiary books. Now, I conclude, and likely questions on this particular topic, what it will be. Number one, essay question, I can say only one, I thought. It is write briefly about general books and subsidiary books maintained in the railways and what purpose do they serve. That is one question. Then short notes questions, general cash book, general abstract cash book, journal voucher, ledger, RAR, works register, suspense registers, closing of general books, deposit miscellaneous, MAR, MAC, F loans and advances, deposit unpaid wages. So these are the short questions which we can expect. And then journal and journal voucher or journal slip. Distinguish between general cash book and general cash abstract book. Deposit miscellaneous and miscellaneous advance. Miscellaneous advance revenue, miscellaneous advance capital. Works register and RER. General books and subsidiary books. So these are all the likely questions which from this topic, which I thought they can come up in the examination. And thank you for listening to me, and I am open for the questions.
Thank you, sir. Participants, please raise your hand for any queries. Sir, in chat box, one query is there, sir. What L and L suspense said and M and M remittance. Party.
One second. Please, from last, we will clear off chat boxes, and then we will rise to the individual ones. Okay. Last one is, please explain ways and means. So yes. This ways and means is the receipts of the government of India, union government, receipts position and expenditure position. This will be prepared by Ministry of Finance, Department of Expenditure. They will prepare this and put up to the minister. So it will be known that whether our receipts, the union government receipts, how they are in comparison with the expenditure, or expenditure position, how it is in comparison with the receipts. So this position will be known only when we compile our account current and then submit it to Ministry of Finance. So this is ways and means position. Then major head 8671. What is the main difference? See, 8671 is the cash that is available, that is total receipts and total expenditure. Cash receipt, cash expenditure. That will be available under 8671. Very good question. And the balance, if any, the amount is available with the cashier at to be remitted. That will be known by looking at the 8671. But whereas major head 1002, it is only for receipts, that too traffic receipts. Major head the 1002 is only for traffic receipts. So it is only receipt side of the cash only it will be shown, not others. Next. Short note on revenue allocation. Yeah, it is, I already mentioned to you that revenue allocation register, it is one of the important tool, short notes it will come, important tool, managerial tool, especially from our accounts side as well as for the executive. It is most important tool because the expenditure for the month as well as to the end of the month, they will be compared with the funds that are available, or spending limits that are available for the month and to end of the month. And we will be using that as we will be writing to the executives also. What is L in L suspense and M in M remittances? Yeah, most probably you may have missed my first class. So this L remittances, LM, not only LM, there are right from A, B, C, like that, F, similarly I, J, K, L, M, N. All these are sector names. Sectors. In government accounting, the major head transactions are grouped into sectors. So under those sectors, whatever major heads which we learned, so they will be there in the, they will be exhibited under these sectors. Under L, miscellaneous suspense, suspense and miscellaneous, we will be showing the checks and bills, remittance and transactions, remittance into bank, and others. Similarly, under L suspense, there is one more head is there. That is D, others. So 8671 we saw. Not only that, deposit with Reserve Bank. All those things it will be available. So the major heads are grouped into sectors. Those sector names are A, B, C, D, F, I, J, K, L, M, N, like that. Hope you understood that concept. Already I told. Voice is too low. Okay. Yeah. Nice, Ragharu. I think two people they have raised their hands.
Yeah, sir, I'll unmute it. Yeah, Mr. Esvita Gupta, please unmute.
Sir, good afternoon.
Gupta ji, good afternoon. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, please, subsidy book, how to help in commercial accounting, sir?
हाँ, ये subsidiary book में क्या होता है कि, say for example, हमारा schedule debit and credit दोनों रहते हैं subsidiary book में. So we will be knowing that is we will be suiting to the requirements of commercial bookkeeping, so that the total, say for example, one example I'll give, total earnings jitna hai, so that it will be available, and at the same time हमारा traffic suspense का figures भी रहता है. Then as a commercial undertaking, we will be knowing actually how much total earnings our railway is having, and how much is the total realization what we did, and what is the balance that is available. So this kind of arrangement will be there in the subsidiary books. So it will not be available in the general book. Then one more point, suspense registers also. Suspense registers total how much we have given, and how much we have recovered, and how much balance is available. So this is the main purpose of the commercial principles, where the amounts are double entry bookkeeping system is there. So that will be following in the form of subsidiary books. And one more point is that the balances also will be carried forward for wherever the balances are there, and they will be carried forward. And that is also one of the important principle of commercial undertaking. So that it will be done. And moreover, we will be preparing this block account or balance sheet and P&L account of the railway also, based on the details that are available in the subsidiary books.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Right. Mr. Ajay Singh.
Sir, no, sir, namaste.
Namaskar.
Sir, remittance transaction और PO suspense transaction में difference क्या है sir? Remittance transaction.
Remittance transaction transfer. Yeah. Ajay, definitely separate class will be there for this remittance transaction and transfer transactions. Magar, I want to tell very in simple terms.
Yes.
Either it is a remittance transaction or it is a transfer transaction. हमारा accounts book में technically they are written as a remittance transactions only. But these remittance transactions, they are classified again into transfer transactions and remittance transactions. Transfer transactions ये होते हैं कि any transfer, that is book adjustment to be done between one accounting unit to another accounting unit of the same railway, we call them as intra-railway transfer transactions within the railway. Suppose between the zonal railways, if transactions are taking place, then we call them as inter-railway transfer transactions. Inter-railway, that is from one railway to another railway. These are inter-railway. Either intra-railway or inter-railway, these transactions collectively, we call them as transfer transactions. That you can make it clear. Then second point, remittance transactions. ये remittance transactions ये होते हैं कि ये हमारा रेलवे बुक्स में ओरिजिन होते हैं और रेलवे बुक्स में ओरिजिन होते हैं, मगर एडजस्टमेंट करना दूसरे अकाउंटिंग ऑफिसर से, अदर देन नॉन रेलवे अकाउंटिंग ऑफिसर से एडजस्ट करना है। से फॉर एग्जांपल सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का पीओ से एडजस्ट करना है और हमारा स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का एजी से एडजस्टमेंट करना है और विथ सेंट्रल अकाउंट सेक्शन नागपुर हमारा डिफेंस एंड पोस्टल का एडजस्टमेंट करना है। These are called remittance transactions. Similarly, other railway officer, other non-railway officers, some transactions we have to adjust, or from banks we have to adjust, or from other POs or AGs we have to adjust. Such transactions, if we receive, we have to adjust. So these transactions we call them remittance transactions. But technically, all these are remittance heads only. And all these heads you will find in the books of accounts, in the government account books in part 3. Part 3, public account.
Public.
Thank you.
और सर ये पीओ सस्पेंस अकाउंट के बारे में पूछे थे, पे एंड अकाउंट ऑफिस सस्पेंस, एजी जिसको बोल रहे हैं, ये क्या है? पे एंड अकाउंट ऑफिस सस्पेंस,
CIS, central account section.
P and account office suspense or AG suspense.
Sir, he is asking about PAO and AG suspense.
Okay.
And accounts officer.
Okay, right. PAO, Ajay, previously our central account section, central government departments, they used to be having some adjustment transactions we used to do. But later on, it was nullified, and all central government departments except defense and postal, all central government departments, they have to settle our claims in cash. Suppose उन लोगों का भी जो भी claims है हमारा रेलवे के ऊपर, we have to settle in cash only. So that is why we kept a suspense head of PAO suspense, that is pay and accounts officers of central government departments. These are, we call them as intergovernment adjustments also. So intergovernment adjustments means from railway one side and दूसरा central government departments का adjustments कुछ है, that will be watched through a suspense head which we call them as PAO suspense. अगर PAO suspense वो accept करते हैं, then we will be nullifying the PAO suspense amount. Then finally it is a receipt and already XYZ में हमें credit किया होगा. So that is how that PAO suspense is operated. Then one more point is that AG suspense. This is also, the transactions are originating in railways only, but they have to be adjusted by the respective state governments. So when it has to be adjusted with the respective state governments till they accept it, that means till they make payment to us, they have to make payment just like the central PAOs, they have to make payment in cash only. So till they make payment, we have to keep those transactions to watch the realization. We will be keeping them under AG suspense. So PAO suspense and AG suspense, itna hi farak hai ki these are the transactions which are originated in railway, but it has to be adjusted to non-railway departments of central government, PAO, state government hai to AG suspense. So through those heads, we will be watching the clearance. Yeah. Any other thing?
Sir, no queries, sir.
I think in chat box also, I think almost I may
Yes,
have.
sir, yes, sir. And most of the questions, maybe we will discuss in the coming sessions, sir. That is the remittance head and PO systems, all these.
Yeah. Okay. Can we close this session?
Yes, sir. On behalf of Indian Railway Institute of Financial Management, I thank Shri K. Damodar Prasad, retired senior AFP Southern Railway, for taking up the session on general and subsidiary books and also clarifying many doubts. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we have a session on allocation and classification of accounts by Shri M. Nageshwara Rao, senior instructor, IRIFM. The login time is 2:45 and the session starts at 3 p.m. Thank you all. Thank you so much.